there was, the whole thing was a series of intensities of the body, and including looking at the midgets and the people that were deformed and the gender issues, all of it. What guided you in this film?
You know, in general, I'm always interested in specific locations, and this is also like the Exile Shanghai film in another way, an exterritorial location. And I found this place, it's a kind of cultural history of this place, because the Prater is, I think, the oldest amusement park in the world, and it goes very closely together with the development of a society who lived in cities, in metropolis. And you know, it's not like before it started with the marketplaces where the people were gathered and have done all kinds of things that they had to do. But then, when you had these big cities, you had to find other kind of amusements who were always available. And so it started really early with this. And it's interesting to see how fascinated all the writers and poets were by the Prater, also the musicians, the Strauss, or the whole Strauss family themselves. They were not only composing for the Prater, they also played this music by themselves. So you could also see this short part. So I could put in wonderful little texts, also it's a montage of course, but a little text of Elias Canetti, and I found a highly interesting typoscript, you see typoscript? Of Erich Kästner, who was never published, about Panopticum, and I'm working since a long time around this kind of themes, also the sideshows which you had at Barnum and Bailey, from an earlier film of mine, Freak Orlando, I made in '81. There's also a little part this in lively colors in the beginning with this group of this feast of the freaks on top of this house, this roof garden. So I'm working in this montage way, and fortunately I had so much material. It was unbelievable. Only at material I had about 20-25 hours of films, and I had made all the different archives. And also in the cinema, you know, there were Erich von Stroheim, who made the film Merry-Go-Round. There is a little part in. And then there's one film, The Case of Lena Smith, from Josef von Sternberg. And this film, unfortunately, is lost. And there's just a book coming out in English about this film. So I had only some photos, and Billy Wilder wrote about, and they were all born in Vienna, close to the Prater, and they have all these wonderful memories. So the first text where he is describing what happened at the Prater and how lively it was. And this is the text from Josef von Sternberg. It's in his book. The English title is so much better than the German title. It was something with Chinese laundry. Fun in a Chinese. Exactly. And in German it's Ich. Josef von Sternberg, but it's not so fun. But this is another story, the translation of titles of films. There we can make an interesting book. So.
I wonder if you could speak a little bit about the displaced people, the immigrants in the story, and the mourning, and how they meet the laughter, and something about the emotions.
Which kind of displaced? You mean in this propaganda film?
Well,
In the Nazi propaganda film? Or
we
what?
have a lot of different cultures.
The tribes,
And
the Ashantians.
Oh, the Ashanti people and
Indonesians also.
Right.
sure, of course. This is what they had also Barnum and Bailey. All the, this business was very early an international business to have this kind of sensations at amusement parks. So they were traveling everywhere, also through the States and in Europe, everywhere in Europe. And I think it has to do at this time with this with this image of the world where you could show every plant and every animal and every tribe and every type of. So of course it was terrible, yeah. But this is what was at this time. It was the time of high colonial powers, and this is how it was in society, very accepted. Yeah, we have to see it. It was accepted and only criticized by a few people at the time. Some of the artists criticized it highly at the time. Yes.
Well, I was thinking also kind of tailing off this question and with these sort of exploited groups and the marginalized.
Yeah.
That we talked a little bit about in class, but maybe you could talk about how you've kind of transgressed that in your fiction films. That's sort of been how they're kind of contained.
Yeah, no, I have no. I think these are really two different things. Yeah, if you bring a whole village over from the Amazonas or from Africa, this is a completely different thing than at this time, the last century, if somebody was disabled, he had not many chances to survive. Yeah. So I worked in my film with dwarfs who were working at Barnum and Bailey's in a dwarf orchestra. And they told me, you could see them, and they told me that they were 6 brothers. 3, they were from the north of Germany, 3 were very tall and were sailors. And 3 were very, very small, and they made a dwarf orchestra. And they were becoming very famous, and they made a lot of money. And he told me, when my brothers who were sailors were coming home, then we could invite them for dinner and we could go out with them. Yeah, so the little ones were the kings, yeah, and the big ones, yeah, in society. So it was at this time, I think you have to see things in the time, yeah, and not with our eyes from our time. But to talk again about these different people who were brought and these villages and the groups, and so at this time you had also the world exhibits, the world fairs, yeah, where you had houses from all over the world. You still have it in a way in Venice yeah, with the pavilions, yeah.